I'm making a French apple pie today. I have 7 Granny Smith apples. They're kind of tart. I prefer to use them in this recipe. And I'm just coring them and taking off the skin. In my larger bowl over here, I have cool water and a little wedge of lemon. You could use the bottled lemon juice as well. Just a little dash of that, and it'll keep your apples from discoloring while you're working on them. Then just slice them into slices. I'm going to give the peelings to my chickens. They're going to be happy girls. In my bowl, I have a cup of sugar, 1/3 cup flour, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a dash of salt. I'm going to mix this all up. I'm going to use this to coat the apples. I've drained the apples. And then just toss the apples in this sugar flour mixture. Once you have the apples covered, just set this bowl aside. Line your pie dish with a 9-inch pie crust, and then just place all of your apples in here. They may not look like they're all going to fit, but they will. It'll be the perfect amount. In my bowl, I have a cup of flour, a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and a 1/2 cup of softened butter. And we're just going to mix all this together, and it's going to form a crumb. Once your crumb topping comes together, we're going to go ahead and put it on top of the pie. I have my pie on a baking tray lined with some parchment paper or aluminum foil, whatever you have. And then you just take some of that crumb topping and squeeze it together, and then you just kind of break it so that it's in little hunks all over the top of this pie. I also make a caramel sauce to put on this after it bakes. Oh my goodness, so good. We're going to put this in a 425-degree oven. It's been 15 minutes at 425. I'm going to cover the top of the pie just loosely with aluminum foil and bake at 350 for an additional 45 minutes. Then remove the pie from the oven and cool on a cooling rack. I'm making some caramel sauce. In my pot, I have a 1/2 cup of butter, a cup of packed brown sugar. I'm going to add a tablespoon of corn syrup. This is optional. If you don't want it, don't put it in, but it does help the sauce from crystallizing. Heat the butter and sugars over a medium heat. You want to bring it to a full boil. You'll need to stir frequently. The caramel has come to a full boil. Now we're going to slowly add 1/4 cup of heavy cream. You need to do it slow because it's going to bubble up on you. This is normal. Just be really careful because the caramel is really hot. It can burn you. Smells amazing. You'll want to bring this back up to a boil after adding the heavy cream. This looks pretty good. Turn off the heat. We're going to let this cool. And don't be tempted to taste it because it's the temperature of the sun, it'll burn you. You got to let this cool down. Just drizzle a little bit of the caramel sauce over the crumb topping. Yum, yum. The crumb topping is so decadent. Wow. This is my middle son's favorite dessert. He always loves this. Very, very favorite.